Hey traders, this is Sia once again, and just want to welcome you to my trading channel, Learn to Trade. And the objective of this channel is to really educate you guys on really the different methodologies that one can actually trade, and really to show you how I go about really trading the binary options market as well as the Forex market in itself. So looking at really, let me just share my screen so I can head over to my IQ options account. All right, so looking at on the IQ options account, so basically the balance right now, it stands at $3,819. There are some losing trades, so I'm kind of in a losing streak. So there are two trades that have been out of the money and, were losers. And let's just see how in this trading session we're going to go about really recovering those losses and getting back into positive territory. So let's just start things off with really doing a top-down analysis within my 8 currency portfolio, or my 8 currency pair. All right. So once we get through that, then we can pretty much get down to the grind of actually trading the markets in themselves. So let me just give it a bit of time for my trading platform to pretty much load up, because as well I use that trading platform for analysis as well as for really signals. So it provides me with signals as well to give me confirmation in terms of which direction would I be going within the markets. Right. So it's an 8-pair currency portfolio, and analysis is actually I start things off on the Euro USD. And let's head over to the 15-minute time frame, and let's just clean the chart up. So largely, we pretty much have been bullish, and any trading opportunities I'd be looking at right now is to the upside. Right, so let me just draw a simple line tool. So if we pretty much retrace down, I would pretty much look to buy the Euro USD. But, it's all subjective in terms of what the market actually does. So again, we had a break of structure, previous structure. So we had a higher close, giving us an indication that price action could continue to the high side. And on the 5, what we initially had was a bullish flag pattern, right? Which looks like this. All right. So, and it's a wedge pattern at the same time, right? To the upside, right? So we had that consolidation, price action, then we pretty much broke out to the high side. All right. So we could see continued measured move to the high side on the Euro USD. But at this point in time with this breakout, I am on a wait and see mode. So again, if price action can pretty much retrace down, then I'd look to actually buy the Euro USD. But other than that, I'm holding my horses on the Euro USD, but it is subject to change. Let's look at the Euro Yen. Let's clean things up. Let's go on the 15 as well. We largely are bullish on the Euro Yen, but we are coming into a bit of consolidation. So we initially had that double bottom, and then price action broke to the high side, right? And now we pretty much were in a wedge, or we are consolidated, and then pretty much broke up to the high side. And let's look at the actual 5-minute time frame, giving us a clearer picture of that. All right. So if you are looking at this, so out of these trades as well, if you were bouncing back and forth on this, you could have lost money because again, the range is thin, because that's what I'm starting to notice as well with actually trading consolidation. or a range bound market, if the market is pretty thin, like for example 5 pips, 3 ticks, the market, you pretty much have a higher chance of you actually losing that particular trade. So let's see how many pips is this. Okay, it's about decent 10, 11 pips, right? So you could see, yeah, okay, so it's actually fine on the minute time frame because we've got a bit of range that we can work with. But if you actually look at the 5, it really wasn't really a good idea to actually execute on that. But on the minute time frame, it pretty much is. The market is actually selling off quite strongly right now. So, we could see buying opportunities at our near-term structure support. So just have to wait and see on the euro yen if we can pretty much get some buying opportunity on that, and then we can get our hands on that for an actual trade setup, right? Let's actually look at the next on the dollar Swiss, sorry. And on the dollar Swiss, we are largely bearish on it, and there were some pretty good trades on there. It pretty much broke through the range, right? We had that beautiful retrace of structure, then we tested structure and retraced lower. And what we have right now, we are at a double bottom on the 15, and we could see a continuation to the higher side on the Swiss, and it's looking good, right? So we could see some buying pressure on the Swiss, and I might execute on that. But let's actually see on the 1 minute, right? On the minute time frame, we have a high close. Okay, from previous bar, right? And we tested structure. Let's go on to 15-minute dollar CAD. Let's clean things up. Right on the 15 as well, we had that large indecision, but largely we are range bound on the CAD as well. Nothing too exciting. Near-term structure support at the 2262 level. Right, so this range pretty much is where our support largely is. Dollar CAD 5 Aussie 1. Right, so we had a lower close, and we are pretty much to the downside, but we are forming a wedge pattern. All right, so we are pretty much in consolidation. We could see a breakout to the high side or even to the low side on the dollar CAD. Let's look at the minute. In the minute time frame, we're having a buy signals. 2, 6. Right, so we are pretty much bullish on the dollar CAD, but largely I'd actually be looking at taking short trades on the dollar CAD, looking at really how the momentum is actually going on right now. Right, so dollar Swiss, we got a signal. Got a buy signal on the dollar Swiss. All right. So let's move on to Aussie USD 15. Let's clean things up. And looks like it's going to be a bit tough to actually trade the Aussie USD. I might not even execute any trades on it because if you actually look at how clinically clean the uptrend has been, it becomes hard to really get in on such a trend. So if you look at the 5, if there were any opportunities. Okay, there were a few, but the range still about less than 15 pips. All right, so pretty much high consolidation as well there. We are largely choppy. Have a bit of structure here. All right, got a bit of structure on Aussie USD. Then we had a high close. We're coming back. We're having a pullback to structure. Right, but the market is largely in consolidation on the Aussie USD right now. So I'm pretty much going to be holding my horses on Aussie USD for any trade setups. Let's look at the pound USD. Pound USD, we pretty much are coming into structure. We are at structure right now. And as you can see, perm bar reversal, reversal bar after reversal bar on the pound dollar. And it's a good sign that, we are testing that level. And, we could see some rejection to the downside. And then a good case in point for really a sell-off on the pound USD would be maybe we could have maybe a breakout to the downside, an aggressive bearish bar. We could see that on the pound dollar. Let's take a look at the 1 minute. 1 minute, we got a bit of structure that we can actually work with a bit here. All right. So this zone is really a buy zone. And we have there a range of about 11 ticks. All right. So largely what's been happening, the market has been in consolidation. It's breaking up to the high side. Then we are pretty much pulling back. So we could see maybe further breakout to the high side because we are formulating structure as well in pound USD. So we're pretty much going to have to just wait and see in terms of what price action gives us on the pound dollar. Let's look at the euro dollar. We have some moves. Right, euro dollar, we got a buy orders. It's actually set some orders on. All right, on the euro USD. I'm gonna take a trade, 5 minutes. Let's double check that. 5, and we are long. All right, so pretty much our long euro USD. Right, and then we got a signal on the dollar yen. Haven't really gotten analysis as much as I want to get there. Aussie USD, right? What's showing us? Aussie USD bearish signal. Again, largely consolidation. Not really interested much in the Aussie USD. Pound, we are coming into structure. Let's see if we can actually test that level. All right. Let's move on to the dollar yen. Dollar yen. Again, guys, what this type of trading really is focused a lot on really price action, and it's really short-term trading. What I mean by short-term trading is that, at the end of the trading session, the trades are closed, and it will be the end of me actually taking trade up until I open up another trading session. All right, so that's how it actually works. Let's look at the 15, clear up the actual chart in itself. And then let's see. So largely, we still are bullish on the dollar yen. However, we could see a bearish rotation. We could see, because again, how that bearish rotation would be is that, out of this bigger trend to the high side, we had an outside return, right? And then price action basically failed to create new structure highs. Okay, so we failed to pretty much break our previous structure resistance to create new structure highs. However, we had a pullback, okay, right? And then the market stopped pretty much there. And then a continuation now to the downside. So we could see maybe price action moving continually lower, or we could see price action just bouncing up and down to the high side. So we could see something like this, where we're testing our near-term support range or a support channel, then going to the higher side, right? So, we could see that as well on the yen. So actually go into the 5, see if any trading opportunities. Almost had a double bottom on the 5, so nothing much there as well to be interested much on. And look at the 1 minute. On the 1, again, not really much in terms of structure as well down here, largely in consolidation as well. But however, if again we test, this is going to be our near-term resistance level on top there. All right, but largely it's actually a bit more. All right, so we could see sell-off right there. All right, let's move on to the last currency pair, New Zealand USD. New Zealand USD is actually look at the 15-minute time frame, and on the 15 as well, pretty much we had been bullish largely most part of the day of the New London session, as well as New York as well. And we got about 30, what, shy of, not really an hour, maybe like 40 minutes of this trading session before we pretty much can call it an evening for me in South Africa. Right, so let's see. What we have, okay, we largely been bullish. Then what price action actually did, it created an outside return, all right? And then we haven't really created new structure highs or seeing any price action signals to the high side right now. So what I'll be looking for in New Zealand, we could see a continuation of this consolidation. All right. All right. So this is our near-term support. All right. Near-term support. So again, price action can test that level and hold. Then we look to buy. Near-term resistance. Again, this would be the micro resistance level I'll be looking at. All right. Right there. But the bigger level I'll be looking into would be up there. Right. That again is the larger level for actual resistance on the New Zealand USD on the 15. Let's actually look at the 5 for any structure levels. Okay, we're still seeing the same picture on the 1 minute. On the 1 minute, we have a structure as well. All right, so our trade actually was in the money. All right, so yeah, so we are in the money with the Euro USD. Right, looking good. A clean trade. We didn't really bounce up and down within our strike price. So it's pretty much good for psychology as we starting off the trading session. All right, so let's actually keep things moving. Let's look at the last currency pair, New Zealand, and see how price action is actually bouncing up and down. So right, range bound to the downside as well here, but again, largely consolidation. Right. And then we had that break right there, and yeah, so yeah, largely consolidation here as well. It's a matter of just waiting and seeing what price action does. Again, look to sell at these levels, there as well as there. All right, so pretty much this would be the range to look for in order to sell the New Zealand USD. Right. Yeah, so pretty much that's the range I'd look to actually sell. So let's kick things off. Aussie USD, I have not really interested much on the Aussie USD from really a trading perspective. Got a bit of micro support there as well. We are testing that resistance. The range of this is a bit too small for me. It's about 3 pips. So the bouncing up and down and taking the signals here is a bit risky. For an example, right, we got that sell signal coming into near-term structure resistance, right? Then a few minutes later, 1, 2, 3, we pretty much would be out the money at this stage, right? On the Aussie USD. But anyway, let's look at the Swiss. All right, Swiss is actually giving us a buying signal, right? But at the same time, it's largely selling off. But let's see. It's largely selling off. So again, when you're taking such trades where you're looking at price when we are at a structure level, it becomes tough because the market, what it initially is looking at doing is, it is possible that the market is looking to really establish a new particular trend. And how you can pretty much identify that would be a breakout, right? Then we could see an outside return testing previous structure, right? Then we could see a new structure high, right? Which would break above previous structure resistance to create new structure highs, right? So again, that's how I pretty much identify a new trend, how you can see possibly that, we are looking to change direction within the actual markets themselves. Let's look at the yen, right? Beautiful sell signal on the yen. Let's actually take that, even though I'm a bit late on the yen trade. Right. 5 minutes. Let's double check again. 5 minutes to the downside. All right, so let's see how this trade will play out. I'm on the yen. It's a beautiful breakout bar. Okay, not really a breakout bar, but a beautiful bearish bar coming into our structure level resistance. So we just have to wait and see. But largely, we could see a bounce, so we could see price action pulling back and us maybe even losing a trade because largely we are in consolidation right here. Let's look at the dollar CAD, another trading opportunity. Nice sell signal on there. But again, with the market being so thin as well, it becomes a bit tough to actually execute these 5-minute trades because, you could get the direction right, but at the time of your expiry, you pretty much would be out of the money in these types of situations. But anyway, let's actually look at the yen. We are largely selling off on the yen. We are moving lower. All right, and if you actually notice as well on the yen, compared to the previous sell signals, we had this bar, these small bearish bars as well. And the larger one previously was, if you look left, structure leaves clues. If you look at this one, it had been larger. So if you are looking at really a 6-minute count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you would have lost that trade as well. Taking another short position, another count 6 as well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that one would have maybe been in the money depending on when you actually executed. So if you executed largely on this bar, then you would have actually won that trade. Then the next signal would have been this one. So we'd see how this plays off the dollar yen trade signal. And then what's actually beautiful about this type of setup is that, we are at an actual testing structure level as well. So yeah, so it's a matter of just waiting and seeing. Let's look at the euro yen. Right. Oh, we've got a beautiful sell signal on the euro yen. All right, and we are coming into our near-term structure level. So let's see what price action does. So will we blow through this level, or would we see price action rotating higher? Because if you're looking at it from really a ratios perspective, from swing low to swing high, we have our 50% retrace near our actual structure level. So, we could see possible reversal at this level as well. So pretty much we're going to have to wait and see on the euro yen, right? So 50%, again, it is a psychological and important Fibonacci ratio as well. When you're looking at Fibonacci's, and what we've got that 50% retrace coming into previous structure resistance, previous structure support. All right, so resistance turned into near-term support. Right. Right, so we largely have to see in terms of how the bulls and the bears react with each other, okay, at this particular point. Right, so let's just see how our trade is actually faring off. We are in the money so far, right? Okay, so euro yen is continuing lower, right? Missed the signal, right? Euro USD, we got a signal there as well to the downside. However, I would rather opt to actually take long position trades here as soon as we pretty much come into our structure level zone, which is down there, and we've got a bit of structure there. So largely at the zone, I'd look to buy on the euro yen, on the euro USD. My apologies. Right, yen trade is continuing to sell off. Right, we are continuing to sell. Pretty much are largely in the money. Got about 30 seconds before the trade actually expires. Right, so we got about 30 minutes for pretty much this trading session. Then I would pretty much wrap things up. Right, looks like gonna be in the money, but hey, a lot can happen again in about 5 seconds. All right, winner, 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 chicken dinner. All right, that was a winner. Let's actually continue with our analysis and let's look at New Zealand. What's happening in New Zealand? All right, we are selling off in New Zealand, and let's actually take that trade setup. New Zealand to the downside. Come on, New Zealand USD. Okay, we can't really execute any 5-minute trades. So again, New Zealand can't really take that particular trade right there. Love to have taken it, but yeah, New Zealand has not been on my side at this point in time. But anyways, let's actually just continue with the actual analysis. Euro USD still selling off. Let's look at the dollar Swiss signals being given on there. A bullish signal. Right. Bullish signal. All right, so me doing an evaluation on this particular bullish signal, I would actually prefer to have a bit more confirmation. So how I'll be looking for that is, again, largely I like to trade in the direction of really the overall trend. However, we have a support structure level down there, right? So really where this bar is, it is initially a pullback. So I'd love to actually take the first pullback or the second or the third pullback. All right, so again, it's a breakout bar, okay, of the previous bars, right? But largely, if I were to actually take a trade, I'd rather take it on an actual pullback. All right. Then the actual bar that's actually breaking higher. Right. So again, I'll be on a wait and see mode on the dollar Swiss again. All right. Right. So again, let me just go through really the psychological challenges when it comes to really trading binary options, as it's actually different than trading Forex. So psychological points would be really looking at things from really this perspective. I executed a trade, and this was actually on the 29th of Jan. Okay, I lost my first trade, lost the second trade, lost the third, lost the fourth trade in a row. And when you're at this point, when you're losing a fourth and you move on to the fifth trade, it is psychologically draining because, in my head, it's thinking, okay, are my trading signals or my trading strategies, working? And then there's another part of me that says, no, you are trading really price action signals. It's now the role of really money management to really take care of me and really kick me out of my winning streak, or really manage my losses, if I may put it that way. And then the next trade became a winner. So it pretty much covered back all these losses and gave me a bit of profit as well. Then the next trade became a loser. Then it won the next trade again. So again, basically psychology is important in trading, irrespective. So learning how to trade can be actual grind of the trading process is actually much, and it's actually much more amplified in terms of binary options, because we are looking at really a minute time frame, so the market really moves quite rapidly at the same time, and the market can move quite slowly. So as the market is moving slowly, you can have that sense of, okay, I'm not really taking as much taking any trades. So you could have the possibility of really wanting to over trade, and once you over trade, it can be dangerous, because you could have an impact on really your actual balance at the end of the day, because it's important to actually treat your trading as a business and not really just as a. And really what my objective actually doing this whole trading process over the past years, and really culminated down to a trading process where we're looking at things really rapidly. We're looking at the markets moving quite fast, and we're looking at the markets moving slowly at the same time, and how you can pretty much execute trades and at the same time make money with that. But for me personally, largely it has been really a mental challenge. It's been something I wanted to do for a very long time, where I take trades. Let's actually take the dollar Swiss to the downside, okay, with the momentum of the trade. Dollar Swiss, and then I'll actually continue my rant. Dollar Swiss to the downside. Oh, 5 minutes. Boom, we're in. Right. So let me just continue on that. Yeah. So again, yeah. So largely for me, it has been one of those discoveries where I spent a bit more time in terms of really understanding binary options. And largely, it has the hardest part for me would be really that adjustment from really forex to binary, okay, from the perspective of really money management, because with forex trading, it's largely pips, so we accumulate pips over the year, and over the year, then at the end of the year, we pretty much, those pips have a certain amount of value, all right, which will correlate to your trading account. However, with binary options, we are largely looking at expiries in terms of taking a trade and it expires at a certain point in time. And your money management needs to be geared towards really the element of timing. So really collecting pips. So there's always this debate between really martingale money management versus fixed ratio or percentage of your trading account. It's very important that you actually test these different methods, see which one actually works for you, and really go ahead and execute on that. So largely what my money management system basically looks like, it's largely based on terms of really how the winning streak actually is. So if I'm executing a trade and I'm actually losing, then I pretty much scale things up until I have a trade that wins, which pretty much covers up all my losses and then puts me into profits as well. So that what largely it is when it comes to this world of really binary options trading. And if you haven't yet been involved in a trade on the dollar Swiss, you could see some buying pressure, as we come into that 50% retrace. But anyway, let's just wait and see. All right. Again, talking back to really price action, let's actually look at really what I like to call breakout bars. This is a good example. If you look at this green bar on the left, right, it was a breakout bar, but it pretty much failed to actually continue. So we had a bit of consolidation and it collapsed. Next, we had another breakout bar. So it broke up from the previous levels, right, and it failed. Right, and then we continued higher gradually, and we had a breakout bar, then it actually failed. Hence why, even though there was a buy signal at structure, then I was like, okay, not really. And I looked at the overall momentum of the markets. It is largely pushing down. Hence, if I'm taking trades, I would rather take trades that are within the direction of the market. But however, if I were to be looking at taking a buying position, this is good because now what we have, if this is my starting point of my new trend, then you're looking this as your outside return. So taking a buy signal down here, I would say is advisable because one, we have structure support. Two, we pretty much have passed, I don't say passed the 50% or the Fibonacci ratio. We largely oversold, right? So we could see a reversal. So the sellers, could be taking profits here and moving higher. It is possible, right? But we pretty much have to just wait and see in terms of how that goes. But largely for now, I'm in the money on the dollar Swiss with the direction really of the overall markets again as well. So it's important as well to really understand structure analysis and understand price action in itself in terms of how the market moves, because you'll be able to actually make money instead of really relying on indicators and all these various signals. And as you can see, for me, I don't really rely 100% really on these indicative signals, but they give me a heads up in terms of which markets for me or which level I could be looking at within the markets, all right? And we got about a few seconds before the actual end of this trade. And we are in the money, but again, a lot can still happen in about 10, 15 seconds or so. All right, so price action could just shoot up higher and kick me out. So we just have to wait and see. But largely for me, why I like to trade at this time is that the markets aren't too volatile at this point in time. The markets are largely quieter. So that large volatility that would happen during the actual trading day or the New York session or the London session, it is numbed down within the few hours before the actual session closes. Right, so actually look at the Australian dollar, see if we can take any trades there. But when I was doing my analysis, there hasn't been much opportunities I would love to get involved with. Okay, so it largely sold off. We had a low close, and we're coming back. Right, so we're pretty much in consolidation again here on the euro, on the Aussie USD, and I'm not really a fan of actually executing any trades right now on the Aussie USD. All I'll be doing is actually losing money right now on the Aussie USD. Let's look at Euro Yen. Right. Euro Yen is largely selling off. Right. Largely selling off. And then the near term level. Okay, so I was actually looking to actually buy it at this 50% retrace, but price action sold off a bit more and we banged up higher again. The markets at the end of the day, they pretty much do respect levels, or they test levels, because at the end of the day, institutions or high volume trading, it's largely based in terms of really understanding where the ceiling is at and understanding where support is at. So as a trader, it is important for you to do analysis, see where those important levels are, and really pay close attention in terms of what price action is doing at those particular levels, right? All right, so Euro Yen pretty much are selling off on that. Okay, so 2 more minutes and then I think I'm gonna just call this a day or an evening for this trading session. Right, because we have a bit of structure here as well, even though it's small, but it is something, which is larger, I believe would be the 618 Fibonacci level. Right, let's just go through the currency pairs, just take a look in terms of what's going on. Right, pretty much are selling off. Near-term resistance. Right, got a signal in the New Zealand. Okay, so New Zealand can't really trade in New Zealand, but we can take a look at it from really a structured perspective. And yeah, we've got that sell signal on New Zealand. And sell signals haven't really been performing really well as well. Yeah, it's been sad, but yeah, it's just sad. No, it just broke. So we just literally had that close, and the signal bar indicated that for us to actually take a short, and then just exploded to the high side. So buyers are actually taking control of the New Zealand right now. Let's look at yen. Yen is just falling off aggressively from really our last trade execution. New Zealand again. Look at this confusion. We have that breakout bar to the high side, and then we could see again with this breakout bar. If you were to just pay attention to really what price action has been doing, and really understanding how to actually read a price chart. I'll just give you an example. Let's just look at this zone for now. Okay, from really 9:30, we'll just say up until now, right? So again, we had a breakout bar. So we had breakout bar, right? We had breakout bar. Oh gosh, right? So we had a breakout bar to the high side there, right? Breakout bar number 2, all right? And largely then the market pretty much collapsed. So it's breakout bar number 1, we had a collapse, we had a retrace. Breakout bar number 2, then again we had that retrace, right? Then I would consider this as a engulfing bar as well, right? And then largely the market really steadily went up and then pretty much collapsed. We pretty much tested a bit of structure and we collapsed. Then now we have again this bullish breakout bar, all right, which again breaks and closes above previous structure. What we could see is price action doing something more like this as well, something of this nature, all right, and then a pullback, because again we are creating new structure highs. With new structure highs, we could see a pullback, but maybe a consolidation or a wedge pattern maybe to the high side. Then maybe you could see a correction to the downside to test structure support, then really a breakout to the high side, right? So that's what we pretty much could possibly see on the New Zealand USD on the 60 as well. It won't be surprising for me to actually see that, considering what the actual price action has been doing for New Zealand as well at this point in time. All right, so we pretty much could expect that, but we just have to just wait and see. All right, so I've got about a few minutes and then I will call it a evening or a day for you guys, because we've got a few more minutes before the New York session actually officially closes. So really the beauty of actually trading at these times is that the markets again aren't really too volatile, and as the markets are not too volatile, it helps you with analysis. Selling off at structure. Even though I'd prefer to actually buy, this was a nice buy signal. Right, so pretty much the market is getting tighter and tighter. It's coiling up. So yeah. So let's just do a quick review in terms of really what the day looked like for me. Even though I haven't really taken trades really. Looking at today, I just took 3 trades. Yeah, so I took 3 trades and all 3 were winners, and yeah, It's not bad for just a few minutes. But really looking at gains, this $5.60 just covered my losses on that, and maybe I made like what dollar or two or so far. But anyway, it's better to, for me, it's actually better to close the trading session in positive, because what really the idea is to really accumulate on those small wins. So at the end of the course of the year, you're going to be able to see how big of a return that it's going to be. So closing a trading session really in positive territory or just breaking even is fantastic news for me. And really I'd have to say for most binary option traders, that would be the case. So without further ado, if you liked this type of content or this type of trading, please feel free to subscribe on my YouTube channel. And if you have any comments, just leave them below. I'll get back to you ASAP. And share this video with as many or as much, so English is not my home language, as many people as possible who really want to get into really binary options trading. I'd really love for us to really build a community in terms of this, where it's more like a think tank where we all get together and we pretty much formulate I won't say in individual trade plans, but we pretty much look at the markets together and we execute, and we look at really price action and look at how price action moves, and we execute trades based on that. So without further ado, trade your plan your trade, take care, and cheers.